Good morning, everyone. Today is day, I believe, 135 of our quest to lose 150 pounds and become a healthier person, a healthier individual. And so, if you guys watched yesterday's video, you know exactly how the day ended. And yeah, we woke up today. I mean, went to bed a little bit later than usual, so I slept a little longer. I was looking at my sleep data that I track with my Aura Ring, and it was pretty good. And actually, I do feel rested and kind of okay for the most part. So you know that's always it makes things a little bit easy. Sorry, makes things a little bit easier in terms of having a little more energy to like do stuff. Let's see. Today was interesting. My blood pressure was fine, but my Lumen measurement was a 3 again. Even though like I was under my carbs, and you know I basically let's see. Whenever you get something that's not morning fat burn, which is what you're trying to accomplish with Lumen, they sort of have a feature where you can click and say like explain my level and ask a couple questions about like what could be the culprit, I guess. And it says your level explained, and I'll just take a picture and put it up on the screen so you guys can see it. It says your level explained. It says drinking alcohol can stop you from reaching overnight fat burn, most likely. It says detoxifying alcohol is a top priority for your metabolism, but this delays carb burn and makes it harder to reach morning fat burn. So maybe because I had like I think it was 3 glasses of wine, and basically my dinner was tea with honey, so that's pure carbs, and then like 4 pieces of bread. It had a little bit of cheese in it, but I'm not even counting that. So 4 pieces of bread, just for the sake of simplicity. So that was all carbs. And then I had wine, again, all carbs, and alcohol. And like this is saying. And then it says, and because the last thing that I ate was like around 7 p.m., it says fasting too long. So that's the second most likely option. Fasting too long pushes you out of fat burn as cortisol rises. Everyone has their own ideal fasting length. When you exceed it, your body gets stressed and makes cortisol, which drives carb burn. So that is basically what Lumen says. The reason they say I had a 3 this morning as opposed to having woken up in fat burn. So according to them, a combination of drinking alcohol and a longer fast, although it's not really any longer than some of the other days. Go figure. But it's just, interesting to see. I have been feeling, for the last few days, still kind of really out of it, kind of upset, very moody, cranky in general, feeling depressed about other aspects of life. And I believe that is probably part of, it's probably being exacerbated by how I'm feeling because of the diet, because of the lack of sugar. And like I was saying yesterday, that idea that I got in my head where my body doesn't want to use, the fat reserves, doesn't want to tap into it for energy and for, and so it's just craving the sugar and it's making me cranky so that I'll give in and it can continue doing what it's doing instead of. So maybe we just, we're trying to push past that so that we can finally access those fat reserves. I don't even know if this is scientifically accurate. I mean, I am just sort of going on instinct from, I guess, things that I know or everything that I've read about metabolism and how the body works. So I don't really know, but I don't know. It feels like maybe that's a thing. So today we were going to go, we had planned on going to a nearby city just because we'd never been and sort of like do like a tourist Saturday. But honestly, I've been feeling really out of it and struggling quite a bit with food and stuff. And Jolima thought, you know, that maybe it wasn't the best idea to put me in that situation, and I agree. And so we decided that we're gonna go for some Argentinian steak, which, you know, it's a nice meal that we can have outside, but it's got, you know, for the most part, limited carbs, and lots of protein, you know. So we figured like that's something, because we had on the menu for today, we had going out, and so we're gonna try to do that and maybe go for a walk. I don't know, something chill in that way. And so that's kind of the plan. We'll see what ends up happening. We'll take a look at it. We'll try to document everything and just kind of keep going from there. Let's see. Let's get this day started.
We are here at a very traditional neighborhood bodega, which is like a barbecue spot for Argentinian steaks. We decided to get a salad. They always put some bread in there. We got a beer to share, and this is what the place looks like. And I'll show you. We got some steak, and we got a chorizo, and so it's going to be meat and protein heavy lunch. And this is the Argentinian chorizo in all its glory. This is a steak that Nima got. And I got a different kind of steak. And now this is my steak. It's a pretty good size, and look at the sauce in my hand next to it. Pretty big size.
Well, hello, you guys. Let's take a quick look. It's time for dinner, but let's just take a quick look before we keep going, and just see what happened for lunch. So lunch ended up being this, as you can see here. It was basically about one steak. I mean, it's hard to tell exactly how much steak it was, but about one steak, about 100 grams of chorizo, because I didn't have the whole thing. We sort of split it with Jolima, so I'm being generous with that portion. Also, we had some fries that we split. I'm guessing it's about a medium serving. It was about half of a... I had a couple pieces of bread that were... It's hard to tell because like these portions, I don't really know exactly how accurate they might be, but I'm guessing like a quarter of a baguette, but I'm guessing based on the 40 carbs, I might be being a little too generous with this portion. Probably was less than that. And then we split a beer, and so it was about, you know, half a liter, so 16 ounces. But then, and so that was lunch, and it was 1,800 calories. Now, we had some red wine after we were going to go out, but ended up staying in and just watching some TV and being lazy. So, and Jolima got excited with the Game of Thrones, and she said, "Oh, we got to pop out with some wine." So, something smells here. Anyway, so I ended up having some wine, and that means that I have about, 450 calories. I might end up going a little bit over. I'm not particularly hungry, so I'll try to be as best as I can. But we're going to make for dinner something that is what is called in Colombia calentada, which is just basically leftovers all mixed and reheated and stuff. So I'm going to use some of the leftover steak that we got from today and some of the leftovers from the last few days, and we're going to make something, and I'll try to kind of weigh everything and just split it in half, and we'll see what we end up with. So let me go ahead and get that going, and see you guys in a bit. This thing has like a lot of stuff. We have some of the leftover steak, some of the leftover French fries from lunch, just a little bit, like 25 grams. We got leftover rice. I put some bacon in there, some green onions, and then we're gonna have some of the leftover chicken curry that I have in here. We still have quite a bit, and so it's gonna be interesting. We'll see what it looks like, what it tastes like. Well, this is what it looks like. It basically just looks like a soup, but it's got all kinds of goodies in here. Probably not the most appetizing, looking dish, but we'll see. That is good. I know this doesn't look like the most appetizing thing in the world, or at all really, but it is so good. This is seriously good. It doesn't really look like it because it looks kind of gross, but it is so good. We're gonna have to see what the numbers look like because this is very satisfying. So, all right, now that we have finished eating, we can take a look at the numbers for today. And all right, we went over on basically all counts. So we basically have no caloric deficit for today. I logged the macros from the chicken curry. And again, this is all an approximation for the most part because it was such a big pot, and basically we divided it into 6 portions, and at the end of the day it was 6 portions. So I would say this is probably okay. So 11 grams of carbs, 69 of protein, 66 of fat. That's the curry. But then we added some things to this today, which is, I split everything in 2 because we ate it half and half. But so it's basically 80 grams of steak, 12.5 grams of French fries, 5 grams of oil, and 15 grams of bacon. ¿Llegó alguien, bebé?
Yo no estoy esperando a nadie.
No, yo tampoco.
No.
Okay. Let's see. 5 grams of oil, 15 grams of bacon, and 100 grams of rice. So that did increase our carbs, basically everything. So let's see. So at the end of the day, dinner ended up being 44 grams. And let's see, so we have 155 out of 150 for carbs, 195 out of 150 for protein, and 191 out of 134 for fat. So pretty much over our calories for today. Now, the total burn for today was only 3,300. It'll probably end up being a little bit over, but a little bit more than 3,300. But we probably went over our calories a little bit today. Not terrible. We've been under every day this week, so we'll see what the average ends up being. I was a little bit. Yesterday was the lowest day, so only 2,000. So it helps to split the difference a little bit. But that is what we ended up having for today. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. It's one of those things that it makes it difficult when I have to make some decisions, and I'm making dinner now, and having to measure everything beforehand, make sure that I'm staying within what I'm supposed to have. It ends up being kind of tricky. So in the moment, I made the decision to just go with it and just do it because we just wanted to eat this food that was here before it spoiled. But that meant just eating a little bit more today, and because I didn't measure it beforehand, it ends up being more than I planned, I guess. And that's one of the lessons to learn here, is that we will always underestimate how much food something is. And then we eat it and it's like, oh, I didn't realize it was that much. So, but it is what it is. And I guess that's okay. And at the end of the day, it really depends on how we continue to make progress from here and in every week. So we'll take a look on Monday. We'll take a look at how we did this week. We'll take a look at all the weekly numbers, as we're going to start doing on a regular basis. And then we can judge our progress from there. I think it's a better approach. So that is it for now. That is it for Saturday. Day 135 is done. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.